Hello, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Al Leth, and welcome to Fort Benning's Fitness Forum. Musculoskeletal injuries impact thousands of soldiers in the Army. What if we could identify those injuries before they ever happen? What if we could prevent them from happening? Functional movement screening can do just that. And today I have two experts to describe what functional movement screening is, how to perform functional movement screening, and what to do with the results after you have them.
Hi, I'm Major Ben Bauer, and with me today is Staff Sergeant Lorenzo McKnight. And today we're going to talk about the functional movement screen. The functional movement screen consists of 7 movements. Each movement places an individual in a position where imbalances, asymmetries, and weaknesses become apparent to an individual trained in the functional movement screen. The functional movement screen is a great tool for leaders to assess their formation for individuals who are at greatest risk for musculoskeletal injury. There are various entities throughout Fort Benning who are skilled in the functional movement screen. Athletic trainers, physical therapists, and other fitness professionals throughout Fort Benning can perform a functional movement screen on your formation. It's just a matter of getting in touch with those professionals to determine who best can screen your formation. The first movement in the functional movement screen is the deep squat. Staff Sergeant McKnight is going to demonstrate each movement. First, we'll begin with the deep squat. Go ahead and step forward to that. So the deep squat begins by placing the feet shoulder width apart, feet pointing straight forward as though they're on railroad tracks. The dowel rod is going to be placed on top of the head with the elbows at approximately a 90-degree angle. Once we have that, the individual is going to press the dowel rod up over their head, locking the elbows out. Okay? And then the instruction will be, before he begins movement, the instruction will be squat as deep as you can, maintaining the dowel rod over your head, pause slightly at the bottom, and then stand back up. Begin your movement. Good. So we'll go point by point on the deep squat to discuss what we look for when we score this particular movement. So go ahead into position, up over your head. So we want to make sure that the dowel rod stays parallel to the floor, that the feet remain just as they are throughout the movement, as though they're on rails, shoulder width apart. He needs to break 90 degrees at his knees, so dropping below that right angle. And his torso, go ahead, needs to remain parallel with his shins, his tibias. And do we have the dowel maintaining a straight plumb line with the feet? Go ahead and stand back up. So that is as close to 3 as you can get. Now we'll show a 2. Okay, go ahead and relax. So a 2 is scored with sort of an alternate position where the heels are placed on the board here. And what this does, primarily, it takes the ankle mobility out of the equation, out of the movement. So a lot of times what prevents folks from being able to squat to the level of a 3 is rigid ankle mobility, or lack thereof. So it's the same exact movement, just performed with his heels on the board here, as you can see. Go ahead down. And we look to score the same exact things as we did when we looked on the floor, okay? Does the dowel remain parallel to the floor? Does the torso remain parallel to the shins? And is the dowel in a direct plumb line with the feet? Go ahead and stand back up. And go ahead and relax. So that would be scored a 2. Performed perfectly, however, the position has been altered. A 1 is really if all those points that we look at are off. If the dowel does not remain parallel to the floor, if it doesn't remain in a nice plumb line with the feet, if the shins don't remain parallel with the torso and vice versa, and if potentially the feet move from the position from which they started. And that's the deep squat.
That does it for this episode of Fort Benning's Fitness Forum. Thanks for watching.